The following is a presentation of TFNN. Trade what you see with Larry Pesavento. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, Larry Pesavento.
Okay, looking good, Billy Ray. Feeling good, Louis. We've got our good friend Shane Smolian from wolftrader.net on the line. My friend, are you there?
Good morning, Larry. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Well, you're starting out with what everybody has an interest in. You want to go ahead and I've got your first two charts up on the your polling chart versus the S&P. Looks very interesting. Go ahead.
Sure. Well, I'd like to focus on this election by first focusing on the market, because I think that's the most important thing to look at in terms of where this market is going, where it's been. We'll talk about some prediction indicators that we've seen. And then I'll get into the astrology charts a little bit later, but that's interesting too. So this chart here shows the polling numbers. I've showed this chart before. On the left-hand side, you can see starting with A. On the top, that's Clinton's polling numbers. On the bottom, that's the S&P. And you can see clearly that if you go from A to B, that first down leg, the market has tracked her polls, or the polls have tracked the market, however you want to look at it. But they move together. I mean, this is a clear correlation. So this is what we need to watch in terms of the election. And why do we care so much about this election? Well, the election is important because of the Fed, because of Janet Yellen, and that's what's controlling the market. So the Fed's controlling the market's controlling the polls. So we got to watch this closely. So if you keep going over on the chart, from C to D, you see that down leg was picked up. From D to E, that rally was picked up. And it keeps going across down to from E to F to G to H to I to J. If you go up to K, you can see that her polling numbers got a little bit stronger to the market in recent days. I think because of all of this news that came out about Donald Trump and the tapes and all of this scandal that kept coming out. But now we've seen that it's dropped again, and it's actually tracking the market once again. So this is bad news for Hillary Clinton. I put a red line here that shows the election line predictor. Now this line, if the market closes below this on October 31st from July 30th, so from July 30th to October 31st, if it closes below that line, which it did, there's an 86% chance that Trump will be elected based upon that predictor. It's only been wrong one time during Eisenhower administration, but since World War II, this has been correct 86% of the time. So that's, to me, that's the first thing I would look at to say a Trump presidency is imminent. It's likely based upon this and based upon the market. I think he has a very good chance now of winning this election, and the market is really the thing that we got to watch here.
You actually were referring to this back in September. Before you had some of this data, you were looking at some astrological charts that were giving you the same type of data, as I recall. I'm correct on that, correct? Am I right?
Yeah, that's true. Now, apparently, all of the astrologers of the world are united against me in saying that Trump is supposed to lose. But you know, the type of astrology that I do, you know, remember, I look at astrology as it's an influence. Okay, so I gave the analogy of, you know, if you took the best team in the NFL, the New England Patriots, and you took the worst team in the NFL, the Cleveland Browns, I don't care what kind of a chart the Cleveland Browns have. They're not going to beat the Patriots 9 out of 10 times. So we need to look at the big picture. The charts don't tell the whole thing. But that being said, I mean, I have always said that Clinton has a very difficult chart. She has a double Saturn-Neptune, which is a horrific aspect to have. It's afflicting her son. This is what all the scandal has been this year. It's definitely playing out, and it gets worse as we go into Election Day. She's got these double Mars Saturn points on her chart. It's a difficult chart for her, but Trump's chart is not without issue either, and that's what the traditional astrologers are looking at. They're looking at Saturn affecting his sun, affecting his moon, and Saturn, of course, is a restrictive energy. But Hillary's chart is just that much worse. So it's not that his chart isn't bad, but hers is worse.
Okay, that makes good sense to me. Now, do you want to move on to your second chart?
Sure.
Okay, here we're talking about the Fed juice.
Yes. Now that's actually the third chart. Can we go to the second one?
The second one.
What
Is
might
this
be
the one where, I think I've got, I think I've got it here. Just a second. You're right. I'm sorry. Just give me a second here, and we'll be there right now. Just give me 1 second, and then we're ready to go. Okay, this should be it. Is that the one?
Yes, this is it. Perfect. Perfect.
Okay,
Perfect.
good.
And it just kind of feeds into the narrative here. So we got to go in sequence here. But I've shown again here this line that the 730 line, the July 30th line, and we are clearly below that line. That's clearly an indication for Trump based upon the markets. But the one thing I want to talk about here that's very interesting this month, if you look down at the chart, there was that one day where the market, it was like October 10th, where the market was open and the Fed was shut down and they couldn't juice the market. And we had an immediate collapse the next day. And then strangely enough, the Fed the rest of the month has been very quiet and very weak. Now, I did not expect this. I thought that Yellen would be rallying this thing in for Clinton, but for some reason, I don't know why. I can just look at the data here and tell you the Fed has been weak this month, and the market has tracked the Fed as it always does. And so on the short-term scale, the market has kind of sagged and limped into this election, which is definitely positive for Trump. I mean, no matter how we look at this, this is a positive for Trump.
Wow, that is really an amazing statistic how you put this together with the market, and the polls are beginning to say that he does have an outside chance, and so we'll see if that's going to be the case. You know, we have some friends in London who are extremely good predictors. They predicted the Brexit thing, and they think it's going to be a landslide for Trump. He's going to win states that, you know, people never thought that he could. So I don't know if that's going to be the case or not, but you're making another case for it too. Whether that's going to happen, we'll have to wait and see.
Well,
So
I would say this. Okay, first of all, she was ahead. I mean, whether you believe the polls or not, she was ahead. So he's got a lot of ground to make up. Now, the latest Real Clear Politics poll is about 1.7 points in her favor. But the way the Electoral College works is that if there is a slight shift on these battleground states, it could be a landslide. I mean, even if the popular vote is close, you could see these states flip in his favor. So, you know, Florida, Ohio, Pennsylvania, I mean, all of these states are in play now. And, you know, if they all flipped, then it could end up like a landslide. But I think it's going to be close in terms of the actual popular vote.
Mm-hmm. Well, it'll be interesting to watch. We haven't seen anything like this since the O.J. Simpson trial.
Yeah, and
So-
I would also tell, right, that's another thing I told people, look, this is an uncertain time. It's unpredictable. Don't try to think that you know what's going to happen 100%, because, you know, it's taken a while for this data to kind of crystallize for us to come a little bit clearer in terms of what is happening. But this is an unpredictable time. So I don't think if you just take, you know, traditional polls, traditional ways to measure in the past, you know, that it's definitely, that's how it's going to turn out. I mean, even this 86% chance is something that could be on its head this year. So
TFNN is excited to offer a brand new piece of market scanning software unlike anything the industry has ever seen. John Logan and his team have spent years developing their market profile tools to finally be able to release the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. And right now you can get a 2-week trial absolutely free just by visiting TFNN.com and providing us your name and email address. The TAS Profile Scanner Plus is the premier market profile-based scanner in the industry. Powered by the acclaimed TAS proprietary algorithms, this feature-rich scanner is a standalone desktop software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Within 3 minutes of signing up, you can have the software downloaded and running on your computer with a complete roadmap of market indicators and inflection points to trade off using the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. Sign up today and try this amazing piece of software by visiting TFNN.com.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN and you'll find the Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video, giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. Larry takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Okay, we're back, folks, and we're with Shane Smolian of wolftrader.net, and we are now looking at your third chart, which is very, very unusual on this Fed juicing thing. This is this should be proprietary, my friend. This is really, really indicative of what's happening in the market. You want to go ahead and tell the folks what you're looking at?
So this is the data that we track all the time from the Fed. Now, you know, a lot of people are skeptical about the election and voter fraud and all these things, and you know, they're portrayed as being, you know, these nuts and these crazy people. You know, there's no way an election can be rigged and all this stuff. But when you see the data that's actually happening behind the scenes with the Fed to prop up the market, I think you have a reason to be paranoid about what's going on behind the scenes, particularly with the Fed. I mean, this Fed has tried so hard to keep this market up since 2015. They've put so much energy and effort into propping this market up, and it's barely holding up. You can see this here. And I talked before about this, that I don't know where that upper limit is of this Fed juice. We saw in recent weeks it pulled back a little bit. This is a moving average, so it keeps going higher. But you can see those other two peaks. Those were the three peaks. Those were the QE periods. Those were the three QE periods. So we've surpassed that. There's essentially QE going on behind the scenes. They just don't say it. And they give you the data to prove it every day. You just have to put it together and plot it. So, you know, there are things going on behind the scenes. I mean, this is data. This is hard data that we're looking at. This is not a theory. This is real stuff, and they're struggling to keep it up.
You know, what amazes me is, you know, I have contacts with a lot of people, you know, because I've been around for a long time, and you're the only person that has equated this down to this Fed juicing thing that you have, and we've been watching this for months now. And it's been absolutely amazing how it is, and it certainly is indicative of what's happening in the market.
Well, Larry, I track every piece of data that comes at me. I track. I even throw hurricanes up and cold fronts and weather phenomena. And I've actually done that with the planets to predict when the hurricane's going to be strong, when it's going to be weak. So this is just another data set that I plot. It's nothing different than what I do on a daily basis. I'm just always curious to see what it looks like when we plot it.
But it makes such perfect sense when you put it on the chart and look at it. I mean, a third grader could say, yeah, these look like they're the same.
Absolutely. The correlations they're higher than 80%. They're very high.
Okay, do you want to move on to the one about Miss Yellen?
Sure.
Now, she's really fighting for her job, isn't she?
Absolutely. And I don't think that Trump understands that the Fed is basically holding this market and the economy up. But this is a quote that he said from the last election. He said, Yellen should be ashamed of what she's doing to the country. So clearly, he doesn't like what she's doing in terms of the dollar. He doesn't like what she's doing in terms of the QE. And I think this is telling because if she's gone, now everything is a question mark in terms of the Fed juice, in terms of what has held this market up since 2009. Everything could go out the window. So now all of a sudden, all of this is anything is in play. A crash is in play now because if the juice is gone, the market goes straight down.
Does the president have the authority to fire the Fed chairman? I don't think that's ever happened, but how do they get rid of a Fed chairman? I mean, because it's a private bank. I mean, they're appointed by the by the Congress and stuff. But how do they get rid of a Fed chairman?
Well, the president is involved in the appointment process. So, I mean, eventually, if he doesn't want her there, he can make her life miserable and get a new person in there. I mean, she's going to have a hard time regardless. It's not going to be easy for her.
Well, I've never understood how quantitative easing works, lending money at zero rates. I mean, that's never made any sense. So the Steve Rhodes just said they probably do it publicly on 60 Minutes, which is probably another way of doing it. But these are things that we really don't understand. I have a question for one of our listeners. Is there a possibility that the Fed is getting ready to orchestrate a crash in order to, scare people into thinking this is what's going to happen if they vote for Trump?
That's getting into speculation, but I guess anything is possible. I mean, if she feels like her job is in jeopardy, who knows? Who knows? I can't answer that question. I don't know. I would think though that it's not good for her and it's not good for the market if he gets in.
Okay. Do you want to move on to your next chart, which
Sure.
is the charts of the day that you're looking at?
Sure. Okay. So this was a chart that I just thought was interesting. It is showing the flow of funds in and out of the markets. And right now we have a record outflow of funds from the market. And I think there's a lot of uncertainty right now. So the money's pouring out. So that's also contributing to this recent sell-off in addition to the Fed pulling back. So we've got a lot of factors here. This reduces liquidity in the market, obviously, so can cause price fluctuations either way, I would say, too, because it can spike up or down too. But this isn't good in terms of the liquidity and the price movements. It can cause quick movements very, very easily.
Okay, now what on this particular chart, you're showing the way that it's actually moving at the present time. Is that what it's doing?
Yeah, these are the actual how much the funds are actually committed to, let's say, equity indexes or tracking indexes. So they're pulling their money out, either going to cash or gold or bonds, but they are moving out of the market right now because they don't want to be involved with this election going across.
Okay, now is this related to that time frame at 10:30 in the morning when they start doing their market action things for the Fed?
No, this
is that related?
I'm sorry, we're looking at a different chart here. Oh no, we're looking at the same one. Okay, no, these are mutual funds. These are just long-term funds that are pulling in and out of the market. This isn't the Fed. This is just long-term investment funds portfolios. Hello?
Find out how they can get in touch with. By the way, you're doing a fabulous job with your service and your letter, Shane. I'm really impressed. Believe me, and I always, I knew I would be, but you've done a wonderful job. And as you can hear, folks, this boy knows what he's talking about. Okay, let's move on to your chart here. This is your SPY priced in Fed juice, and boy, this one again looks very ominous, doesn't it?
It does. I just want to read a quote here real quick. I looked something up here for someone had a question about the Federal Reserve. Under the authority provided by the Banking Act of 1935, the President of the United States appoints 7 members of the Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve System who are confirmed by the Senate and serve for 14 years. The President selects the Chairman and the Vice Chairman from among the sitting governors, and these appointments are also subject to Senate confirmation. So, yeah, Trump could definitely yank her if he wants to.
Okay, if it is Trump, that's the key.
If it is. Now, I would also say just Hillary now has this huge cloud over her. You know, it's
Oh.
still possible that she could be indicted even if she's elected. So that now that, you know, that's not as positive as it was before. I still think it's positive, but she has a lot of issues, you know, with that.
Mhm. Wow, it's amazing. You want to finish up this? Well, why don't we do
Sure.
this? We've already looked at this. Why don't you tell the folks how to get in touch with you and some of the things that you're offering, because it's really good stuff. Go ahead, Shane.
Sure. You can reach my website at www.wolftrader.net. You can sign up there for a free email list where I send out updates, I tell you when I'm on radio shows, just basic updates in the market. And you can subscribe to our newsletter there on the chart. There's a link on www.wolftrader.net.
Thank you, my friend, and may God bless.
Thanks, Larry.
Take
Have a
care of
good
those.
day.
Take care of those
everybody.
beautiful kids. Bye bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters. In quiet markets, investors search for new trading opportunities. We'd like to introduce you to a new product that provides opportunities even in flat markets. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a new and innovative Chicago-based exchange registered with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their trading platform. Nadex never charges a fee to use their platform, which even includes real-time charts and full customization capability. Nadex's unique short-term binary options allow traders and investors to capitalize on strategies even when the underlying markets are quiet. Nadex's innovation has allowed them to come up with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com, or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Okay, folks, we've got our friend Norm Winsky from Astro Trend out of Naples, Florida. Norm, are you on the line?
Yes, sir. Good morning, Larry.
You're in charge, pal. I've got page 1 up, and just tell me when to move to page 2.
Will do. But before we do that, I got a special guest here who wants to say something to you, Larry.
Okay.
Holy cow! Cubs win!
Harry Carey. Boy, that was exciting. Being from Chicago, I know how much you enjoyed it too, but it was great to see the old ghost of Ernie Banks and Billy Williams and stuff. I just really enjoyed it very much. I hated to see them lose, but it was good. Cleveland had a great team.
I told Harry he could go get his beer now.
Yeah, for sure.
Harry loved the beer. All right, here we go. We're on page 1. Just a quick review of last month. I was on here on the 6th of October. Let's see if anything I told the folks could have helped them make some money. Right? That's what it's all about, right?
That's what they say.
Yep. So anyway, I emphasized for the stock market, my big date was the 13th. I said this should lead to a 10-13 low. There is a print. You can go back and look at the notes from a month ago. This is exact copy and paste right from the last month, the notes that I had up on the screen here. And I said it could, I also said, though, it could stretch to the 14th to the full moon at perigee and so forth. But it turned out the 13th was the low. I nailed that exactly. Let's see what else we have. Here's the dates I gave everybody last month. We have the Fibonacci dates right there, 10, 7, 13, 14, 19, 26, 27. Then I had my Astro dates, 14, 17, so forth. And how did that go? So I went and I'm going to show you how I score these now. So I'm going to show you the S&P chart. Here's a summary of the results. If you contact me thinking that I'm going to be right 100% next month, I would dissuade you from that because I usually do not and seldom ever 100%, right? You know, I usually have a few clunkers anyway, but here's how I do it. So I take those dates. Here you can see I'm on page 2 now, Larry.
Yep, I see it. I'm putting it up right now.
All right, you have the dates. Same dates. I just moved them to the top of page 2, and then I mark them on the S&P chart there, and you can see, for example, at first date there, 10/7. So I think one day from the high of the month and very close in price. And I think if you sold there, Larry, you could have made some money.
Mm-hmm.
Would you agree with that?
I've been watching it. Oh, yes, I'm watching it. I have your calendar here on my desk because it's real easy to, to take a look at those aspects and things. And you've done a great job, Norm. There's no question about it. I love having you on as a guest. So keep going. You've got very little time, so
all right.
Keep going.
Here's where we nailed the low of the month and so forth. So that's how I do that. I score them. And then on the Astro dates, I hit, 5 out of 5. And on the Fibonacci dates, I hit 6 out of 6. So there we go. I will move ahead at your
okay.
prompt.
We're on chart 3 now.
Yep, page 3. Now we're on the planetary index model here. This is kind of like my version of the Bradley thing, and the blue line, as you have indicated on your shows here recently, the planets are upside down. So good is bad, bad is good. And so this is my inverted model here, and you can see it tracked pretty well until the last few days of the month. I would say you probably have a 80-90% correlation there for the first 3 weeks of the month. Mm-hmm. Moving on ahead. Now we're going to go look at what's that again, Larry? I'm going to page 4 now.
Go ahead.
Okay. So anyway, now we're going to look ahead into November. And one of the things I do, I have what I call the monitor list. What I do is here's a small, on this page, there's a sample of the calendar. This is like 1/5 of the whole calendar. It's like 2 full pages of the different markets, and it shows the planetary energy for the various markets. And so then I add up all those numbers, and then I rank them according to the numbers. So, you want to be in the markets that are going to have the action. If you have, you should have more action if you have more planetary energy, and then you can hopefully avoid markets that are sleeping. We don't want to get caught in something that's sleeping. So this ranks it: stocks number 1, T-bonds 2, U.S. dollar 3, U.S. oats. I know nobody doesn't care, but I do them anyway because they work pretty well. Oil, wheat, coffee, cocoa, and so forth. You see that? So here's a sampling of the calendar, like you referred to. That I have people who tell me the calendar won't leave home without it, So kind of like the American Express card, So here you go. This was an extraordinary month. These are near record all-time. I've been doing this calendar since the 80s. And this is near, I can't tell you the exact number. That's the all-time high number for the stock market. But it's right in this area within a few points. We're near record numbers here. We had October 31 was 112 points. That's a near record number. And we have another one coming up here around the 11th of the month. And then, of course, we had a pull. Now, you might want to keep your eye out for this, Larry. I've been pioneering the what I call the polarity pivot points. These are the points when the planets do something that can flip the energy field of the planet. So, you go along with your Bradley model, and it's tracking a normal track, and all of a sudden the thing flips upside down. I've been having major advancements along those lines to be able to forecast when that's going to happen. One of the points I've noticed that seems to work is, the big thing, my number one thing, is the station points. That's when the planets go direct or retrograde. And another one I've added recently that I sort of had in the background, kind of kept my eye on it, but I didn't take it. Didn't have it on the top priority list, but it looks like it's going to keep bumping it up there in terms of weighting when the planets get to zero latitude. You think about the planets, they're like a carousel with the horses. The horses go around and around, but the horses also go up and down, and that's what the planets do. They go around and around, but they're also going up and down. Mm-hmm. So when the planets, as they go up and down, they get to the 0 point. That's like the sun's equator. That seems to be a polarity point. We had that on the 31st, and so far, the market is tracking the planetary index, which is like my Bradley model, on the positive correlation now rather than a negative correlation. It's tracking it the normal way. So I think we might have had a polarity flip there on the 31st.
Now,
so
the next chart that you're looking at, which is the S&P 500 daily, those green lines, is that the equivalent to that polarity index that you're looking at? Because I noticed
those are just simple technical lines. We'll get to those in a minute, okay?
Sure.
Yep. So anyway, here's the calendar. Here you look at this. The bigger the X, the bigger the number, the bigger the energy, the bigger the potential change in trend. I had you in mind when I picked these markets. Actually, I just copied and pasted a section with some of the markets that you cover the most, like the stock market. I know you've been talking about oil, and I picked oil to look at because one of the big events of the month is Neptune is going to turn retrograde over here, where I'm pointing on the screen at the weekend of the 18th into the 21st, and we got a big number there, and Neptune is going to turn direct there, and we're going to talk about that a little more in a few minutes when I look at the oil chart. Anyway, so that's the Neptune is the ruling planet for oil. So, and I'll show you that in a minute. But that's also important for the stock market. Is the big basket of everything. So if anything important happens, it will affect the stock market. Are we going to commercial now? I hear music.
We are gotta pay a few bills. We'll be right back with you. So hang in with us, partner.
Yes, sir.
Today, it's hard to tell if the economy is coming or going. Regardless, I want my money going in the direction I choose. If that's your stance as well, then you want to know how Everbank can help keep your money thriving just the way you want. Is growing your money a priority? Everbank is committed to a yield pledge promise to pay high yields on your checking, money market, and CD balances. Looking to diversify? Everbank ingeniously developed accessible ways to spread your money around the world into foreign currencies and even non-FDIC insured metals. And when it comes to your wealth, they bring a highly experienced and global perspective to help you manage it. Everbank's financial philosophy flies in the face of the status quo. They believe your money's performance should not be determined by today's economic circumstances, but by the drive to rise above them and create opportunities that favor your objectives. If that excites you like it does me, visit everbank.com/TFNN to find out what they can do for you. Again, that's everbank.com/TFNN. Visit them today. Everbank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender.
It's 2016 and TFNN has a brand new programming lineup to kick things off. Starting January 4th, swim lessons by Thinkorswim and TD Ameritrade will be airing 5 days a week at noon Eastern Time. Join hosts Scott Connor, Kevin Hinks, and Cindy Faber as they host their daily options program live at noon 5 days a week with no commercials for the entire hour. Nico DeHaan and Paige Clark will be moving their program, Living a Primal Lifestyle, to twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays from 7 a.m. until 8 a.m. Eastern Time. Wake up with Nico and Paige and start your day off right. The Bull Bear Binary Option Hour by Nadex will now be live Mondays and Fridays at 10 a.m. Start and end the week with the three hosts, Tom O'Brien, Tommy O'Brien, and Daryl Martin, as they break down the world of trading binary options and spreads. For all the details on the new 2016 programming lineup, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors. Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Direction's daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Catch the Money Masters as they teach you the art of mastering money when it comes to trading and investing. Next on TFNN.
Okay, folks, we're back with Norm Winsky of Astro Trend. Norm, we've got your chart now of the S&P 500 daily up here.
I wasn't quite ready to go there yet, Larry.
Okay,
Go back to page 4, please.
I can go back to page 4. No extra charge. Hold on just a second.
Oh, boy.
There you go.
All right, so anyway, just a quick summary now of the stable, a few of the things. I've been listening to your show every day. I got an excellent show there. And so I noticed you've been emphasizing T-bonds, for example. The 3 top dates of the month for T-bonds, we have the 31st. Then we're going to kind of a secondary medium big day. You're coming up on the 7th. That'll be, what day is it? That's Monday, right? Monday. And then in the middle of the month here, we have a huge mega day right around the 11th. So watch that on your T-bond chart. And then you've been talking about grains, I know. You've been talking about wheat. The thing I hear I know you had some skeptics who were skeptical about the planetary influences and so forth. All they have to do is go get a lunar calendar. You can get one for free if you Google it, lunar calendar, and then go look at your grain prices. I know the grains, I think all the grains bottomed right around that August 31, September 1 solar eclipse. And so you can just go look at the full moon, new moon. It's real simple. A grade school kid could do it. And I think you'll see you get a lot of good turns off of just simple full moon, new moon. Mm-hmm. Okay. And then below, at the bottom of page 4, I have a summary table, all the major planetary events of the month. And so that's helpful if you're looking for something. You can scroll down, just kind of scan down the page here, and you can find that Neptune turns direct after the close of the 18th. My symbols here are AC after close. PM is for afternoon. I think there's an AM there. That's for the morning. That's how simple that is.
That's a summary of the whole month, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, sir. Now we're moving ahead to page 5. Here's the chart that you've been asking about. Here's just your daily chart from January, daily S&P 500, going back to January, the January lows, January, February lows. And what's interesting here is I just drew a simple trend line from the February low. Look at that. There's your Brexit low there in June. Okay. And then we broke. What's important is in October, we finally broke that line. Mm-hmm. So that's a bigger picture. The markets have got trouble. There's trouble ahead in River City, right?
Yep. That's from the Music Man, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Yeah. Gary, Indiana. Anyway, let's take a look. Let's take a look. We've only got a few minutes. I want to cover this chart here on your fractal analysis thing. This is very interesting because it shows.
I got one more point to make here. So connecting the bottoms, going back several months, back to August, connect the bottoms, and we were coming down too close to the bottom of that channel here on a near-term basis. So we may be near a bounce point here, Mm-hmm. That's it. But I think bigger picture, I think the market's got some trouble ahead, If we break this channel line here, it's about 2080 air level. Mm-hmm. Then do you quote the old, I think it's W1 song, it's a long way to Tipperary. It's a long way. It's a long way down to 1990. Right? That's about where the next major level is. All right, going down to here. Here's what we got looking in the future for the stock market. Here are my dates for the month. We have the market math. We have this is sort of a GAN thing where we have, and these are I know you love these historical dates. Like I know you're familiar with August the 20th, 1987. And guess what? On the 5th of November, that'll be 10,609 days, which is 103 squared from that date. The 13th will be 2,809 days, which is 53 squared. Again, love the square numbers. From the March 9th, it should be March, that's a mistake, March 6th. We may have to subtract 3 days. I made a goof. 310, it could be the 10th, which would line up with the calendar there, where we had a big mega window there around the 11th. I just noticed I had a typo there. And then the 19th, which lines up with Neptune going direct, that's 6,084 days, which is 78 squared from the March 24th, 2000 internet bubble top for the S&P. So here's our Fibonacci dates, here's our Astro dates, and so forth. Now we're going to move ahead and look at the chart you wanted me to look at, which is the fractal model. We've been tracking the inverted model very well. It nailed the mid-August high, and it says that we're going to kind of whipsaw choppy market with a downward bias here into the end of the year. We could be getting near a little bounce point here in about mid-November, and then it's going to kind of chop around, whipsaw everybody, and then rally up into early December, and then roll over for a unhappy Christmas and New Year's, going down. And, this is also related to the January barometer, which was bearish this year. And so that would, that has a 75% batting average. The only thing better than that is the Super Bowl indicator. And both of those were bearish. And they say that the market is going to close down for the year. So, this is in line with a down year. So, should have some bearish price action here into the end of the year.
We have a question from one of our listeners. You're saying that November 14th should be a pretty significant low?
Oh, right around then. Now, you can't, on this fractal model, you can't nail it to the exact date, but it gives you a general idea. Yeah.
Exact date's not good enough. We want to know the hour and the minute.
Well, then I fine tune it with the planetary cycles. Then I can get you down to the minutes, as you know, Larry, right?
You've had a couple of monsters, let me tell you. In fact, that high of May 19th of 2015, I don't think I'll ever forget that, because that was when the moon was new moon and we had Mercury retrograde. I think it was within about 20 minutes of the exact high. And you were on the air at the time, which was really unusual. So that was fun.
I had the August 15th high here, too, on this year. Yep. What's the listener's question?
That was it. You just answered it about the November 14th being a very key spot to.
But that's like a short-term point, because we're just going to get a little bounce there, and then it rolls back over and goes down, makes a lower low according to this. Then we go back up and take out that little bounce high, and so it kind of whipsaw you until early December. At which point, somewhere around mid-December, we roll over and then have a sharp sell-off into the end of the year, according to this model.
Okay, that makes sense.
Let's
Okay,
move
now
on
the
ahead
next
now.
chart
Crude
is,
oil. I bet you want to talk about crude oil, right?
What we're going to do is we're going to talk about that, and then when we come back from the break, I want to give you a few minutes to tell the folks how they can reach you and what you offer and everything. Let's cover crude oil first.
All right. Is that when we're coming back, or right now?
Right now. Let's do it now.
All right, now. We're doing crude oil now. That's fine. All right. So here we have crude oil on the page 7. And at the top here, I have the dates to watch for crude oil. And, of course, the biggest event of the month is that Neptune is going direct on the weekend of the 18th. Look at this chart here now. Here's how you can make – this is like no-brainer money, Larry, in that every June, in the last several years, every June, Neptune has turned retrograde. My experience is that commodities don't like it when the ruling planet goes retrograde. The prices go down. Well, let's go look at June. I'm going to scroll down here, find June. And look at that. You see that top there in June? You sold crude oil crude oil every June the last several years. You would have made no-brainer money. It just would have went down, down, down. Okay? Now we're coming up to the
kind we like.
What's that?
That's the kind we like.
There you go. Don't have no thinking needed, So anyway, now we're going to get into the opposite point here around the 18th weekend. And so Neptune's going to turn direct. We're getting down to the bottom of this.
We're paying a few bills. Stay with us.
Yes, sir.
Got to pay a few bills and stay with us, and we'll wrap it up, okay?
Yes, sir. Yep.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Okay, back, folks, with our friend Norm Winsky from Astro Trend. Norm, this is your commercial, my friend, so fire away.
All right, just 2 quick insights. Shane was on there earlier talking about the stock market and their election. My bearish fractal there would also indicate, that Trump should win. So anyway, just a quick insight on that. And also look at the crude oil chart. You got the green line there, all the way back to January. You had the, was it August low? Is that what that was? August low. And now we're back to that green line again. You've been looking for a low there, I think, Larry,
yes,
right around this area here. And we're kissing the green line now. So there you go. That's a long-term trend line. That's simple stuff. All right, now we're going to go to where you get the free stuff here. Monday was my 38th anniversary doing this letter. And so it's kind of a, so if you would get a hold of me, contact me. I'm going to offering this month's letter for free, and you get a free class with that. You have to do the class, though, to get the letter. And the class is about 4 hours. You're going to get a college education for traders. In about 4 hours, learn some Astro, learn advanced Fibonacci, learn how to do fractals, and it's all free. And there you go. So all you got to do is contact Norm. I have about 40 years experience. Started studying the stock market when I was 15. I'm 65 now, so that's 50 years. And then I went off to college, and then I was a member of the CBOE and the Chicago Board of Trade. At the bottom of the page here, I got my picture of my Board of Trade badge with my acronym NOW. I was NOW.
Norman Oscar Winsky?
Well, that's funny. My great grandpa was Oscar, but that was not my name. But anyway, you had to pick some catchy letters, as you know. You were on the floor there, and it was good if you had pronounceable acronym. Anyway, let's go tell the folks how they can get a hold of me. My phone number is 239-594-3939 here in Florida, or you can email me. It's nwinsky@mbark. It's on the screen there, EMBARQMAIL.com, or you can Skype me at Norm.Winsky. The Winsky part is WINSKI.
Norm, my friend, thank you very much, and may God bless.
Thank you very much, Larry. Have a great day. Everybody have a great day. I need everybody to get a hold of me right away. Thanks, bye.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.